The Pat McAfee Show is joining ESPN on what is alleged to be a $20 million deal. And some have estimated it as high as a matching $30 million deal over 5 years. Dude, that's a lot of money. He walked away from $30 million a year with FanDuel, who was his main sponsor.
Yeah.
But he has had Liquid Death, Bud Light, you name it. Pat McAfee has had sponsors, plus the $30 million he was getting from FanDuel. And then he had a baby, and then he figured out that being an entrepreneur is a real pain in the ass, because a lot of you may not know, and I am a daily consumer when somebody doesn't hog the TV and make me watch Jim Rome. I am a daily consumer of the Pat McAfee Show. And Pat has openly talked about the fact that his job got very difficult, and that it was becoming a 7-day-a-week gig to hire people, to order equipment, build studios, do billing, all kinds of stuff, payroll, because Pat worked for himself. And so part of the reason he's going to ESPN is, I'm sure absolutely it's going to make his reach much larger.
That's right, T.
But also because he doesn't have to change his show much. He is going to be on ESPN TV, ESPN Plus, and ESPN's YouTube channel. Oh, by the way, for everybody who said ESPN was dying and, that they're only making $430 million a quarter on ESPN Plus, now they bring over Pat McAfee. Jake, I think this is a win-win for everybody, but here's the question. How many of his YouTube followers and subscribers will go to ESPN to watch Pat McAfee?
Well, certainly, I think you're gonna have some of that. I mean, people are definitely gonna pay to go and see him on ESPN. But I think the large swath of people, I think, will not. And what's really interesting about this deal is the YouTube portion for ESPN.
Yeah.
I wonder, how often is he going to be on your YouTube channel? So is that like an everyday thing? Because if it is an everyday thing, why would I pay for ESPN Plus? Or are we going to get like, hey, Pat McAfee Show Fridays on the YouTube channel? Like, you see what I mean? So like, you kind of have to find that balance if you're ESPN, because YouTube was Pat's medium. And I think that that's a great challenge to have. If you've got to say to yourself, okay, do we want to put him on YouTube today, or ESPN Plus, or ESPN, or where are we putting Pat today? That's a great problem to have. Make no mistake about it. But I think the tough part is for ESPN is like, okay, how do we get as many of those people from YouTube to come over to ESPN Plus? But also, how many of those people that we would want to come to ESPN Plus are already on ESPN Plus? So what actually is the net added subscribers to ESPN Plus that ESPN's going to realize? I think that question is fascinating, because if you listen to Pat McAfee, I would have no problem saying there's a decent chance you subscribe to ESPN Plus because you're a sports fan. You appreciate his show, like you're in that world. So I'm curious. I mean, again, he's got millions of listeners or viewers, right?
2 million subs for the Pat McAfee Show, 9 million for ESPN on YouTube. And I think one of the things that you have to remember is he's making millions in YouTube money. Pat McAfee on his YouTube channel routinely has, I would say probably on the regular and slow season, 100 to 200,000 views a day. But then you go and you look at football season, and Aaron Rodgers made his announcement about the Jets on the Pat McAfee Show to 500,000 people watching on YouTube Live.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money Pat McAfee made on that? It's tens of thousands of dollars on that one show. He's walking away from $30 million with FanDuel. I don't know what his Bud Light deal is, but there's a lot of people who believe that it is 8 figures, which is $10 million. That's $40 million. I mean, it's unbelievable the money that he's walking away from. I think he is probably walking away from north of $50 million.
But for what?
That he's making on his own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
More time in his life. That's what he's giving money up for.
Yes.
Because I guess at some point when you're making $30 million a year instead of $50-60 million a year, because also don't forget, he's on College Game Day, he's on, he's everywhere. But where's he not going to be? Nobody said he's going to be on ESPN Radio. Notice that. Well, he's going to be on ESPN TV. He's going to be on ESPN Plus and ESPN's YouTube channel. But he's not going to be on ESPN Radio. That's really interesting. And why is that? Because people don't listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah.
People don't. And YouTube tells us we're top 5% globally of sports talk streamers. Like it's here. It's not coming. It's not sort of here. Pat McAfee, in my opinion, and I would love to get your comments on it, I think Pat McAfee is the face of sports talk in this country. And he is 100% stream. I think it's and we've talked about this ad nauseum, I know, with all of the Pac-12 stuff, and I know that you guys are probably tired of hearing that, but I still maintain if the Pac-12 wanted to survive, they would have begged, borrowed, and stealed their way to Amazon Prime Sports. That I think that is the only avenue for them to survive, because it clearly has not worked at Apple TV. It is clearly not. MLS is suffering. They are dying on the vine at Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you have Amazon Prime Sports. That's where they should have gone. Pat McAfee, I think it's absolutely brilliant. He's knowingly giving up tens of millions of dollars to get time back in his life, more time with his wife, more time with his new baby, and he doesn't have to pay employees, and he doesn't have to worry about equipment breaking, and he doesn't have to worry about facilities. He's just got to host a show every day. And then he's got to do College Game Day. And then he's occasionally got to show up at the NFL draft. And he's occasionally got to go out and do a big performance at a bowl game.
Yeah.
And for that, he gets a ton of time back in his life. I think it's brilliant. I don't even think it's questionable, honestly. I think it is absolutely the right thing to do. As somebody who worked at ESPN, I can tell you it is a tremendously inspiring atmosphere to work in.
Uh-huh.
So I think Pat is the face of he is the face of sports talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's no doubt he's a huge name. I mean, I think the face of sports talk, yeah, he's one of the faces. I think for my generation, yeah, he probably is. You know, you enjoy him, but I think folks your age are still on Dan Patrick, you know, the older, you know, Rich Eisen.
But see, I'm not a Dan Patrick guy. My go-to, I'm 50 years old on the dot. My go-to is Pat McAfee and Jim Rome.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Pat McAfee says he's not going to curse on the show anymore, which I'll believe it when I see it, because it quite literally is every sentence has an F-bomb in it. Every single sentence. That must be incredibly difficult. Maury Alvarez says, getting paid more than the PAC all by himself. Wow.
No,
you're wrong.
No. He's not wrong.
You're not wrong.
That's facts. I mean, and again, that's what I say. You know, and this conversation to me, I think, has so much more to it than how it impacts the Pac-12. And I think, you know, the real crux of this conversation is that, you know, you get to certain levels in life, and I think Pat got to a certain level where he can say, yeah, you know, I'd like to make $30 million and have time with my family rather than making 60 and not have any time. You know. And I think he earned that, you know, I think people don't understand. I think a lot of people think our show is just like, hey, we show up and just turn it on, or like it's just some easy, fun thing to do. And it's not. I can tell you it's not. It is not.
I think people don't understand the grind of, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand the grind of doing a daily show. We do 3 hours every day.
Nonstop,
and
no breaks.
And we usually shoot 3 or 4 shorts for that day, and on top of that, we have business meetings and sales meetings, and, you know, like we're writing proposals or contracts, and and on top of that, you're worried about studio space, or you've got to move here because you need more space, or
yeah.
I mean, it's incredible how much goes into doing this every day. And then you get people who are like, you know, hey, pay attention to me. I left a comment and you didn't read it. Well, I get it. And I appreciate you guys being here. But I think people don't understand that this is not just some, you know, like everybody's like, oh, you guys do a podcast. No, we don't do a podcast.
No, it's not a podcast.
We don't do a podcast. We don't post once a month, and that's only if we feel like it.
And we don't do audio only for an hour with Ray Anderson so he can bullshit his way through an interview.
And not ask follow-up questions. My point is we do 3 hours of talk because we rarely put guests on the show.
Yeah, you notice that?
We rarely put guests on the show because we don't do Jimmy the Writer. We're not interested in that. You guys can get Jimmy the Writer on your local radio station. That's why they're dead. That's why that's why Pat McAfee is on ESPN Plus and not ESPN Radio.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
radio's dead.
Yep.
There's no other way.
So much to the point that new cars coming out don't have AM radio.
It's tough, dude. It's very difficult. It is very, very difficult. Let's see. J.K. Marshall, revenue split isn't profit. Jeez, man. What are you talking about, revenue split?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I don't know what that means. Truck Stop Gumby, isn't Jim Rome ready for Medicare? Apparently not, because he's still on CBS Sports Radio and CBS TV.
And he's still getting paid a boatload of money to do it.
Yes, he is. Shannon says he will have 35 to 40K watching live on YouTube. He will. But he doesn't care about that anymore because my guess is he's not trying to draw revenue through his own YouTube channel. And ESPN is, which is smart. Let's see. Rome needs Medicare after Chrissy Everett beat him up. No, he doesn't. I remember that, though. Moth Prof, couldn't EA avoid paying NIL to players just by assigning points to each? Who cares?
Yeah,
Not Moth Prof, I love you, dude. But now we're in the weeds, man. Keaton Critchlow, what's up, Keaton? Afternoon casuals. Ryan Fair, does that mean no more drinking and swearing? I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
I think that's what that means. Does Bud Light go away from the Pat McAfee show? You hope not, right? We'll see, though. But I do think that this is one of those things where when you hear Kurt Schultz say, well, we'd have a deal done, but the optics, and he was clearly talking about ESPN.
Yeah.
Well, the optics of paying Pat McAfee between $100 and $150 million aren't bad? You're telling me that's not bad?
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
Paying the Pac-12 $90 million a year would be bad. No, it wouldn't.
Apparently.
Come on now. Come on. I mean, the NFL just laid people off the next day. They announced a $110 million paycheck from Peacock.
Yeah.
What optics? I don't think people care about optics. I truly don't. Jeremy Callahan, radio stations around the nation run D, and Jason made a dedication. You guys remember doing dedications on the radio? I want to dedicate this to my girlfriend, Bianca. Oh, my God.
Bianca.
I love you so much. And you guys remember in high school, you'd design a house on paper with your girlfriend, or we're going to live in the perfect cottage on the beach in Maui.
U.S. Americans.
Our dog is going to be named Bra.
This is fucking America.
And we're going to drink Mai Tais and Coronas. Bianca, I dedicate.
You mean Bud Light?
We're going to drink Bud Light and some stuff and smoke weed and stuff together. Bianca, I dedicate this Bruno Mars song to you. You remember that? Calling the local radio
that's
station?
That's just not the way to go here, Karen.
Those were fun times. I don't listen to McAfee nor Rogan, nothing personal. I used to listen to Joe Rogan all the time. Now I just don't have time. Cougar Tracks, build it, they will come. I largely believe that. Truck Stop Gumby, I'm a Jake and Monty guy. Appreciate that. Thank you. Jeremy Callahan, no swearing? What in tarnation?
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
I probably cursed too much.
What the fuck are you?
Notice I haven't cursed one time today. I shouldn't be cursing.
Be fucking kidding me.
I shouldn't be cursing. CKS, mine was Paul James. Where is Paul? Who is Paul James? CKS, I don't know that. Buy McAfee a swear jar. Get rich. Seriously.
There you go.
He says he won't be cursing. He says he will not be cursing. So, And Donuts gets us a $5 tip. Your hard work is appreciated. That's why I invented the Monty Show International Golf Fund.
See?
Well, I got to tell you, I appreciate the chip in there, and Donuts, because we've got 3 rounds of golf. Well, I do.
See, why are you doing this? You're back to this.
Some
act.
people
You're
have.
back to this. Have I ever not showed up?
Hey, bro, I can't play
Have I ever not showed up?
because I got to stay in bed for the Skins game.
Hey, man,
Do you know what the Skins game is?
dude.
He doesn't know what the Skins game is.
Dude.
You guys remember the golf Skins game? Oh, my God.
So I said, yeah.
Jake's like, I got to stay in bed for the Skins game.
Vexes me.
The Skins game.
The Skins game used to be a hole-by-hole tournament.
Oh, hole by hole.
Hiscock.
See, you're catching on.
Hiscock.
So the best
Hiscock.
golfers in the world would go to a golf course, and it'd be on TV. Each hole would have a dollar figure. So to Bajo, no, I'm kidding. So the first hole would be $5,000. Oh, nobody won it outright. Okay, it rolls over to the next hole, which is worth $10,000, and you add the $5,000, and it just adds up and adds up.
So it's the match with Phil and Tom.
Essentially, yeah. It was amazing, but it's also a sexual innuendo, and I can have double entendre and stuff.
Here I am.
Jake's hanging out for the skins game.
Quite literally.
But yeah, I am going to play 3 rounds of golf this weekend.
Okay. That's how you want to play. Fine.
Jake and I are going to play 3 rounds of golf this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Looking forward to it. I had a breakthrough at the driving range and donuts, so I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the tip and donuts.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just don't think that people... It's tough, man. Like, I can't tell you how many times people have been like, oh, yeah, you guys do a podcast. And I think the tough thing with YouTube is people still think that YouTube is like this platform where it's like, oh, yeah, there's podcasts and cat videos and random stuff. It's like, no, did you guys realize that YouTube is the #1 live streaming platform in the world? Like, does anyone realize that? Like, I feel like people treat YouTube as like this casual platform, and it's not. It really is not.
And the thing that I say is we were talking about this today. Like we when you guys send us pictures of you drinking Bucked Up, if you guys tweet us pictures like with a can of Bucked Up Miami, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome for us. That really helps us. And we were looking through because we saved them. We were looking through all the pictures today. And I was thinking to myself, man, we never had this kind of love on radio. Because on radio, you have no idea how many people are listening to you. So for us, when you look at the Advocates or Barbecue Pit Stop or Bucked Up or Big O Tires or Papa Murphy's or Canyons Golf, like all the people we partner with, that means the world to them because they need people to come through their door. Radio doesn't do that. I cannot tell you how many advertisers we talk to are like, yeah, radio doesn't work anymore. What's different with you guys? And the sell is like easy because it does not work. And it's crazy to me how much you guys support the show. So we appreciate that. Jet Wayman, the Towel King of Utah. By the way, nice call on Denver last night, although we're going to have a talk about that. I'm going to miss the PMS show. I love how much they curse. LOL. Well, but what did Pat McAfee say? It's going to look the same. He's not going to put on a shirt. Pat does the show in a tank top every day. He's not going to. There's so many people who are like, oh, you sold out. Like, it was pretty amazing watching his subscriber count on his YouTube channel go down. That was a thing today. And people were saying that Pat was a sellout, and he took a pay cut to go to ESPN. I don't know if that's being a sellout. But you know what, Jet? I think you're right. The tone of his show has to change. Because you can't curse anymore. You can't call people names. Like he routinely, asshole is one of his favorite words. Like, you can't say that on ESPN TV. You can't. And when you've met with Bob Iger, my guess is that, yeah, you're probably going to do some selling out. Yeah. And you're probably going to do some corporate dude stuff.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. Like, Jet, I'm with you because, and I really try because I'll hear maybe once a month now, hey, man, you guys curse way too much. Like, my wife's in the car or my son's in the car. And we take that seriously. When you guys say, hey, I wish you wouldn't curse, you notice today I haven't cursed because Pat McAfee said today, yeah, I'm not going to be able to curse anymore. So maybe it's not the right thing to do.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's just not the right thing to do. I don't know. Ruff's official. Bud Light can't afford to sponsor anyone anymore. Why do you say that? That's absolutely not true. Mark Hale, no cursing. I think I heard some swears. We'll find out next fall when Pat moves to ESPN. Mothpaw, remember rewinding your tape with a pencil? Yes.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing about this retro conversation? I've been listening to Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Van Halen. I made a playlist on Apple Music. So good. So good. Jeremy Callahan and Donuts LOL talking about the Monty Show International Golf Fund. Truck Stop Gumby, Art Bell and George Norrie for late night. Yeah, those are my dudes. I know those guys, or knew those guys personally. Big Dog O-Town. Flintstones more modern than radio. Ouch. And radio has its place, but I think the frustrating part is, and again, we've told you this is not a secret, like Every radio station in Salt Lake City has asked us to come and join their lineup. Like, hey, come work for us. Come do your show here. Like, totally get it. The reason we do not do that is because it's not 24/7. People don't digest content on the radio the way they do on video, and all of them are like, yeah, you have to leave your YouTube show behind.
Well,
okay, good luck.
Don't play intramurals, brother.
Good luck. Can't do it. Mark Hales, you and I played different skins games. Hey now. Exactly right. CKS, oh my, I guess I'm old. You don't know Paul James? I do not know Paul James. Should I know Paul James? Say it with me, endo nuts. That's exactly right. Gary, he's going to be turning pages with Paige. That's why Jake's not going to golf with his old man anymore.
Turd.
Doesn't have time for his dad anymore. You know.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
Hot dog down the hallway, I guess.
It's a don't question.
Jim Choi, Monty's going to play some military golf.
I don't know what that means.
What is military golf? Lopes Van Gabe, what is it called when you win more than 3 skins but fewer than 5 skins? I believe it's called foreskin.
No, I'm not doing that.
Gabe,
please.
Oh, that's why Gabe's the best. Halsey, I know women who get a swear jar because they just had a baby. They fail miserably. Dude, raising kids is not easy. Not easy. Ryan Fair, you guys are a part of my dinner making time. 5 to 6 Eastern. My 7-year-old daughter wants bucked up energy drinks now. Let's go.
Let's go, Ryan.
Let's go. Give them to her for free. Give her, I'm telling you.
Ryan, what's for dinner, bro?
Yeah, what's for dinner tonight, by the way? I don't eat dinner anymore.
Yeah, you're on this weird thing.
I don't. Well, because I'm never hungry. B says, you guys are driving me Casey Kasem vibes today, or Rick D's weekly top 40. Oh, yeah. And now it's time for the, I don't know, my husband died dedication with Deborah.
Will you do
Deborah
the voice? Do the voice.
Deborah lives in Tampa. What voice?
The Tanner voice.
I'm not allowed to. Tanner told me he hates me and he never wants me to do the Tanner voice anymore.
You just have to like snap out of it a little bit.
Deborah wrote the show.
Hey guys.
Dear Casey, I love the show and I wanted to do a dedication.
His cock.
My husband was run over by a wheat processing machine on our farm. And while I did find his penis, his body was shredded into a million little pieces. So I couldn't bury him. I had to burn him like fire.
Boom. Out of here.
If you could play Chariots of Fire in his honor, I would be forever grateful. Your favorite listener, Deborah, in Miskatoon, Wasatch County, Alberta, Florida.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
Deborah, this one's for you. Chariots of Fire.
Listen, we're in a strange time.
Way back in my radio days.
Chariots of Fire.
That's the problem. You don't know what Chariots of Fire is. Anyway, the point is, back in my radio days, I actually had to play Casey Kasem on carts. Do you guys remember those plastic? You don't even know what a cart is. It's essentially an 8-track. And all of his shows were like 20 carts high. It was amazing. So in 69, the magic number is 69 the magic number in Skins game? Yes, it is. And you have to enter through the back door of the golf club. So enter the back door.
Through the back door, right.
Okay. There goes your no cursing show. What? Did I curse? No, I did not curse. Did I curse?
I don't think so.
Is penis cursing? I did that. Immaculate says, I think Pat McAfee enjoyed being on College Game Day, so his partnership with ESPN means more of that. He will probably make up the decrease in pay for the show by doing other things. I would think so. Christopher Shannon, what about Iowa's impersonation like Notre Dame former coach Lou Holtz? I can't do a Lou Holtz.
No.
Ain't no reset.
Immaculate says, Guns N' Roses, yes, please. Listen. If you are... No, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to ask you guys to put your favorite Metallica, your favorite Metallica songs or your favorite Guns N' Roses song in the comments. I'm not going to do it. Monty Rand, I appreciate that you guys curse much less than in the past. I enjoy the show more with less cursing. Some shows 2+ years ago were too much for me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Jacob DeLambo. Sit courtside of an NBA game and cursing is all you hear. Correct. Truck Stop Gumby, Row Tide. R-O-E.
Row Tide.
Row Tide. Jet Wayman. I know it's only one game, but I could almost smell the ribeye. Stop it. Bishop Monty, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy McAfee.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
Jim Joy says military golf equals left, right, left, right. Dude, I ain't left, right guy anymore. I'm not hitting the wall on the wall course. On the wall hole at the course, I'm telling you. We're actually playing like a real golf course this weekend.
Yeah.
Which I can... Glenmore. Playing Glenmore this weekend.
Can't wait for Canyons to open at the end of the month, by the way.
Moth Prof, y'all are related? Nah, bro.
Nah, not at all, dude. Nope. No relation here. Nope.
You know, it's funny. We met through kind of an odd relationship. Jake's mom's a lot lizard.
Yeah.
And I was her Uber driver. And it just kind of worked out.
Waves in opposition.
Okay. Truck Stop Gummy. Pizza. Yes, I'd like pizza. Mr. Preston, Metallica was the first concert I went to when I was 15. Good times. By the way, Dallas traffic sucks.
Well, I mean, what did you expect? It's Luca Town, dude. Like, what did you think it was going to be nice?
Yeah. My name is Luca. It's not Victor Town. Metallica. In high school, I saw Metallica, I want to say once at the Rosemont Horizon. And then I can't remember in Wisconsin, there's a concert venue.
Wisconsin.
But Metallica's amazing.
But this whole work-life thing, I think is a really interesting part of Pat's situation. Mm-hmm. The work-life balance, like having the time to go to Metallica concerts when you want to. You know, like I think it's a really interesting proposition.
Being off this Friday to play golf.
Really interesting proposition. Like, honest to God, one of our weekly conversations
Please go ahead.
Is are we going to take Friday off to play golf, or are we going to play golf and still do the show? Right? Like, those are some of the things, because the thing you got to remember is when it's not football season, that's when you have to get your time off. Everyone wants to rip on Jim Rome. What did Jim Rome do last week? Took a week off for his son's graduation because he can.
Yes.
Right? Like, you have to have time.
I think, like, Mrs. Monty has to go back to the office now.
Dude, by the way, how many of us work from home?
But this is a real thing. And this Pat McAfee thing, the reason we're talking about this on the Monty Show presented by the Advocates, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because are you guys happy in your job? What you're doing for a living? I'd love to get you in the comments. Let's hit the like button. Let's get the comments rolling. Are you happy in what you're doing? Because I think this Pat McAfee thing is a real conversation. And I'm curious, like, my wife has to go back to the office. Have you guys thought about that? In 15 seconds, we're going to read your comments, and I'll tell you why going back to the office, I think, is absolutely vital.
Getting knocked around in an accident is awful. That's why you need someone to look out for you. Call the Advocates for your free consultation, and we'll keep you from getting knocked around. Yes.
The Monty Show presented by the Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, where you never pay a consultation fee or a retainer. You never pay anything until the Advocates win your case. So you have nothing to lose. Workman's comp, I promise you, I think they are the best workman's comp in the business. Go check them out right now, theadvocates.com, utahadvocates.com. Chat with an attorney live online for free 24/7 at theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. So let's talk work-life balance. The issue is that for us, we work 12-hour days. I get up at 5 a.m. like this morning. Here's my day so far. I was awake 12 hours ago. At 4:29 this morning, I had to go to the bathroom. Tossed and turned until 5 o'clock. And then Mrs. Monty and I got up. She did a Peloton bike workout. I did a Peloton tread workout and did some stretching and weight training. You blink and it's 6:15. And I know that Jake's going to be at my place at 7:30 after he's done with the Skins game. So from 6:30, 6:15, I'm drinking. I'm trying to get the rest of my water down. I'm eating a protein bar.
Water.
I go take a shower. Like, now it's 7:30. I'm trying to get down to American Fork. Then I'm trying to get up to the Maverick Center to prep the show and do the show. And Now all of a sudden it's 4:30 and I'm not going to get home for 3 more hours at a minimum. So I'm going to be gone 12 hours and I will be working 14 hours. And then maybe tonight I'll have time to go to the driving range. That's a tough grind. And now my wife has to go back to the office. Her company is mandating that she spend time in the office. So now she's got to commute downtown Salt Lake City. And I hear this Pat McAfee story. Now, Pat's in a different tax bracket than me, myself, and I. Pat's making $30 million, which, man, that'd be great if I made $30 million the rest of my life, frankly. But I think it is one of those things where I think work-life balance is hugely important. And I think, I know a ton of people that are retired. I know a ton of people that are real estate agents who are massively struggling right now. Like, I know a full dichotomy of people that work. And I think it's really hard to find your place in life. And I think guys like Pat McAfee, I actually applaud him for that.
Yeah.
Because he's doing it his way. Keaton Critchlow, I work from home and I refuse to go back into the office. I would entertain a hybrid position, though. And I think that's what most people, one of the things I miss about working at Yelp, Yelp said, we're never going to bring you back to the office. You're more productive at home. Let's leave you at home. Like, that was Yelp's philosophy. And I think Yelp also knew we have tens of millions of dollars a month in rental payments around the globe. We can reduce that and put that money into other places. But you have massive companies like Tesla or Twitter with Elon demanding you work in the office 100% of the time. I just don't think that's realistic anymore.
Yeah, and I think the problem is people have other options. So if you demand that, you're going to lose people.
Yep. Brandon Butler, I dig what I do. I won't be rich, but I can sleep at night. Amen to that, dude.
Well, and I think
Amen
that's the
to
question,
that.
isn't it? Like, so how much are you willing to put in, before you're like, yeah, I'm done with this. I just want a 9 to 5 and I just want to go and make my 100 G's a year, or whatever,
That's right.
And play some golf and do some things like, how willing are you to, like, because again, our story, and I know, a bunch of you have heard this before, you already know this, but for the new people in the room, like, we worked at Yelp for almost 3 years, 2.5 years, made insane money at Yelp. I made the most money I've ever made in my life at Yelp, and I loved it until the end when I got burned out. And we were like, all right, cool, we're heading into another year where we both feel burned out. Like, what are our options? What can we do? Or is it just, hey, don't be burned out? Which is kind of the genesis of, hey, how do we take this thing to the next level? So then it's like, all right, cool. So like, if you're in your 9 to 5, bro, like, how do you not get burned out? How do you keep that semblance of happiness? And I think the work from home thing is a big deal because, again, what's the real magic of work from home? Well, like at Yelp, if you let's say you close 3 deals, right? Your sales at Yelp, you close 3 deals before lunch. You don't have to work the rest of the day. What are they going to do about it? Right? Because you've already met your performance metrics. If you have a good relationship with your manager, then you're protected. Like, you're in a good place, but you couldn't do that if you did work in the office because you're in person. You don't have a choice. You have to be there. You're going to get in trouble. So that's why I think people like work from home a lot, is because it's like, hey, if I get my work done early, I can leave. But that wasn't an option in the office. If you said to someone, hey, dude, as an umbrella rule of thumb, if you do X, you can leave whenever, you would be amazed how fast the productivity would go up. Yeah,
it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. DeLambo says, I used to work 80 hours a week, finally down to 60. Glad to hear it. Ryan Fair, my company is actually selling their office because they want to promote work-life balance. That's huge.
I don't know what we would do if we didn't work so much. Like, it would be weird for us, I feel like, because we work so much.
I don't know what I would do. Cougar Vibes does. He said, I'm retired. It's hard some days. Good vibes. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right, man. I think it is. Jeremy Callahan tells Keaton Critchlow, hybrid isn't necessarily all it's cracked up to be. Can be the best of both or the worst of both.
Yeah.
I think we're going to find out because I think it's the way of the future. Victor's the Way says, what time is the NBA talk sponsored by Salty? 1 hour from now.
Okay, see, that's a veteran account
that
right
is
there.
A veteran
you
account. That. That's about probably 40 minutes from now. Alex Chacon, Monty, what do you think about Chelsea being... Stop. Dude, you're killing me.
Alex, please.
Alex?
I mean, is the RSL not enough soccer on the show? The RSL promotion?
I've gone the entire hour and 36 minutes without one curse word.
Apologize to that man.
And then you bring up Chelsea. and I'm supposed to continue that. At least we got, Pochettino Mama. I don't even like the guy because he coached
SuckMyAss.com.
He coached at Spurs, but he's better than what we have.
Here, take it. See ya.
Declan Rice is fine. Declan Rice is
Dude's
fine.
name is Declan.
He's good. He's a good footballer.
Yeah.
Big bad brass balls. I'm retired and it sucks. Why does it suck? You come do my job. I'll take your money and retire. Tom, working in an office makes me more productive. I'm sure of that. Ooh, really? That's interesting. That's very interesting. E. Norman Stitz. I'm sick, but still tuning in. Appreciate that. Arlington Bears. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. Wisconsin concert venue was Alpine Valley. Yes, sir.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Metallica.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
From the good old, from the good old high school days. I went and saw Metallica at Alpine Valley. It was so good. So good. And then Stevie Ray Vaughan died there. 2, been working from home for 20 years and would never go back. 3, going to retire in 5 years and grow my real estate portfolio. Let's go. It's funny. Somebody was asking us about what we thought about real estate today. Got to have it in your portfolio, man, but you better know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because, if you're picking up property right now, you have to really be smart of where that property is. It's a whole thing. Chris is a real estate expert, so yeah. Tanner, honestly, I do feel like that character. Dude, I haven't. Now we're bringing up characters. Mike Phillips, I like working from home because my dog is here.
Yep.
I want to bring my dog in. Everybody at Maverick Center brings their dogs in. We might bring Rhino to the show one day.
Okay.
He's not going to live forever. Nate Davis, I have 2 jobs and I don't love it. Every day of that, I can't do what I want to do right now because I'm working on it. But I think this is really important. If you're working 2-3 jobs, that better be for a reason. You need to be building for something.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Acorn Investing is, Acorn Investing, if you're working 3 jobs, it's meant for you. You should go check that out. Big Dog. I like my job, however, can't do my type of job from home. I hear that. Truck Stop Gumby, I just want to find a job where the government can't consider me an essential employee again. Ooh. Brady Cook says you would golf. Yes. I said to Jake today, it's all I want to do.
I'm with you, dude. I want to as well.
Can't wait to go to Hawaii in the fall to golf. Little Jizzy, Jazz should pick VW with the 9th pick. Yeah. If he's available. It's fine. Jacob Delambo, VW was always going to the Spurs. Just ask Tony Parker. Okay, so Jake called this last night. This is... Yeah. Did you guys... And do I have this picture on my phone?
I think I put it in.
You put it in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put it in.
I've heard that about you in
the
Skins game.
I'm very successful in the Skins game.
Sure. So Jake last night, we're watching... Here it is.
Right there.
Jake last night, we're watching the draft lottery on the TV here in the studio.
After the show.
And Jake's like, the Spurs are going to win. I'm like, what? And we have a joke between us when he says something dumb. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get through the day or something stupid like that. So we joke and we laugh. And he's like, no, seriously, I saw the Spurs logo on the bottom envelope. I'm like, shut up, dude. And so he grabs him and rewinds it. And look what he found. Oh. Jake saw on the last envelope in the stack, this is the dude walking the envelopes up to the podium. Look at that big, shiny Spurs logo on the bottom envelope. And Jake's like, the Spurs are going to win it.
Oh.
And so I tweeted out that picture, and immediately people are like, oh, the fix is in. Well, dude, they've known for a week.
Yeah, bro.
Infowars.com.
The accounting firm is supposedly.
Allegedly.
The only one that knows. But I have it on good information that some other people knew, right? Because how did a certain NBA insider have Victor Wembanyama in a Spurs uniform with a graphic ready to go as soon as the pick was announced?
Infowars.com.
Because saying if you're in the know, you're in the know, yo.
You're in the know.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
Apparently. Jimmy Otson says, I work 80 hours a week in an olive on Pizza Factory. Can't stand it, Jimmy. So I'll see in an olive on Pizza Factory. So all he does is put olives on pizza. So he deals with Satan's giblets.
Why would you want to handle Satan's balls all day, dude? Like, why?
Jansen, I work at Walmart as a sophomore in college. It's terrible. I'd rather work from home if it was possible.
Okay, well, what do you want to do? What are you doing?
And here's the other thing. If you want to work from home, you can work from home.
Yeah, we got to have a talk about this, dude, because the Walmart angle, it's weak sauce. There's plenty of other things you can do that allow you to work from home.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's absolutely the truth that you can work from home. All right, for 40 minutes past in the second hour. If you're just tuning into the show, the biggest stories of the day are brought to you by our good friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, the best barbecue equipment in the business. See, when you hear Barbecue Pit Stop, you need to say to yourself, best barbecue equipment. Hey, where can I get the best barbecue equipment? Barbecue Pit Stop is where you get Traeger, Big Green Egg, Camp Chef, Yoder, and everybody says, oh, man, Barbecue Pit Stop, how's their brisket? Do they have good steak fries there? Well, they do, but see, Barbecue Pit Stop's not a restaurant. It's a barbecue equipment store, and they're phenomenal. Love those guys. We bought our Traeger there. A lot of our listeners have gone and bought their smokers there, but the number one thing I think that people buy from Barbecue Pit Stop is all the different accessories like rubs, sauces, seasonings, spices, tongs, because every man needs a good set of tongs, right? So you can get all that. You can get your floor mats. You can get your smoker covers, any flavor of pallet or a pellet for your smoker. I'm telling you right now, cherry.
Boom.
You get the drums on because nobody on this show eats flats. At least not like the fully grown adult men who
You're out of your freaking mind.
Have matured physically. We eat drums. That's all we do.
You are not.
Drums. And we don't joke about being out of ranch dressing at lunch today because we know that typically that raises your level of
The
mortality.
lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Because we'll break that ass in half, right? So he thought it'd be funny to joke today. Oh, we're out of ranch, bro.
Ain't ducking, no smoke.
Because he knows I like to dip my cantaloupe in ranch.
Can't back down.
And I'm like, hey, can you grab the ranch? He's like, we're out of ranch, bro. Almost had to call Victor Wembanyama there. Anyway, the point is you can get your ranch, but you can get your cherry pellets for the smoker. If you have not done a ribeye or a brisket or ribs or brats or wings with cherry pellets.
Well, when Jet Wayman pays his bet with a ribeye.
Well, because the Lakers are going to win that series.
Right. Yeah,
I think
obviously.
we learned that last night.
Yeah.
We'll do it on a video of Jet coming to my house and cooking my ribeye on my smoker.
The dynasty is not over.
Yes, it is. Anyway, the point is you can get all that at Barbecue Pit Stop, the best barbecue equipment in the business. If you happen to be in the great state of Utah, Logan, Layton, Lehigh, Payson, the brand new store, in a butcher shop, the finest cuts of meat. Payson. How about the Jeezy just had their grand opening? What's up? Where's everybody in St. George these days? Hit us up, say hello. And, of course, our good friends on State Street in Murray, which is the store we routinely shop at. It's Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Chat with them online, order online. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show.